There is a saying that goes, would you rather be a warrior in a garden or a gardener in a war? It's easy to understand that metaphor, but most don't take it seriously. It's not a life choice. It's a generational trait that you choose to instill within yourself and pass down to your generations to come. No man who chose to be a warrior in the garden will settle for his offsprings to become gardeners. If anything, they become better warriors. And this is exactly why every boy out there needs his own father to raise him and guide him on that path. Many men in life lose their focus, lose their direction because of the absence of a father. Not in all, but in many, many, many similar situations that I have encountered, it seems that the mothers out there hold their sons from being overshadowed by the father and his personality. If you are a woman doing this, this must not happen. You will surely regret this decision when your son is in his 30s going on to 40s. Okay? Only a man can resonate feelings of growing up fatherless as a man. So no matter what a single mother does to ensure the best of everything for her son, leaving out the real father as a mentor deletes all your good efforts. While the mothers could have their own justifiable reasons, however, if the father is not a threat or a bad influence criminally, then a father must be present in his son's life, especially if the son is in transitional age brackets. This is where children get lost. This is where future traumas and depressions stem from. There is a famous proverb supporting this, and it goes something like this. A man can love another's woman, but can only love his own children. Okay? There is a lot of truth in there. So regardless of how great a fatherly figure a boy has, if it's not his own father, the response and the results will never be complete. Okay? And if you are a father, and if you are not participating or involved in your son's life based on your own decisions, then you must change that decision. Think about all the trauma and hardships and struggles and lessons you have been exposed to in life. Your son will surely go through the same. It's the rules here on earth. No one is excused or exempted from hardships of life. Now ask yourself this. Who was there for you? Who was truly there for you? What kind of mentor did you receive? Do you want the same for your son? Today we will speak about the importance of a man's presence in his son's life and what they are waiting to be taught by you. What happens a lot of times is that mothers raise their boys a bit differently from the way fathers would. And that's why the presence of both influences, the mothers and the fathers, is imperative for every child, regardless if he is 15 or 50. To develop into a good, balanced human being, the influences of both parents, the strengths of both parents must be projected on the son. I can tell you right off the back, after speaking to many mothers, that mothers in general do not train their sons to take risks and wing it when opportunities arise. Let me give you a very simple example to how a father and a mother would approach the same subject. A mother will tell her son to keep his head up, nose clean, and respect every woman and stay out of trouble, while the father would teach his son to raise his head higher than the one he is talking to. Keep your nose out of conversations that don't involve you. Make women respect you by being caring, polite, and helpful, and make sure that no one around you gets into trouble, not on your watch. This is the difference between how a father talks to his son and a mother talks to her son. This basic schooling from parents to children already have two approaches. The mother teaches the son to be good and grow up good. The father teaches the son to be good because he has a responsibility of family, of life, and of himself, which he must never fail or falter in. Mothers teach sons right and wrong. Fathers prepare sons on how to practice and pass on that right and wrong. It's a team effort. No son should be raised by only a mother or only a father. As boys grow older, they need a reference point. They need to reflect and understand where certain traits are coming from and how to handle them. Children and parents who grow together often take this for granted. It's unspoken of because everything is happening live. However, in homes where a father isn't present, life becomes a bit more complicated for the sons. From time to time, they require to be pushed into greater confidence, greater courage, greater clarity. And this has to come from the father. It cannot come from the mother or another male guardian. The impact will never truly and fully be the same. A child or even an adult find it harder to achieve greatness of self or greatness in spirituality without a permanent father. Evil has a way to get to these individuals because the layer of the father's protection isn't there. The child knows it. The friends of the child knows it. This creates silent vulnerability, which can have serious emotional repercussions over the child as he becomes into an adult and perhaps starts having a family of his own. We live in a society today where a boy growing up fatherless is not only common or accepted, but in some extreme cases are even encouraged. I have sat across mothers who took an oath never to allow their sons to be influenced by their fathers. And without being biased, I would like to tell you that in many situations, there was nothing wrong with the father as a father. The problem was in the marriage. And now that the marriage is over, the father becomes the enemy who abandoned or wronged the family. I cannot tell you that in so many cases I have witnessed, this claim is only a perceived accusation on the fathers. So if you are a mother and feel that this is your final decision for the relationship between your son and his father, then do reconsider because the effects in the future on your son will be devastating. And you will be blamed for it. Even if not straightforwardly, you will be accountable for the damage in that relationship. And if you are the father and have voluntarily stepped back or are reacting to the way you are being rejected and decided to disconnect yourself, then let me ask you to please reconsider. Okay? That is your son, which you played a part into bringing into this world, and until the day you take your final breath, the mental wellness of that boy is your responsibility, which you cannot back out from. Even if you are receiving resistance from your ex or your child at the moment, you must continue to persevere in maintaining that relationship. It's important for a son to know that he has a father over his shoulder throughout his life. It's important for a son to see a father who is there, who can stand up, who is responsible, and who can become a beast when required. Only a father can teach his son to stand up in a way which is required. Self-respect is a big thing, and so a father would never tell his son to turn the other cheek, but a father figure or a mother would. Friends would influence your son in another way. A father teaches his son not to only stand up, but also fight. Fighting is important. Everyone must learn to fight. because you will need that trait throughout your life, whether you are in a school gym fight or you are at a job and you need to fight for your rights or your teammates. As a man, you might go into the military where you must have the ability to fight, mentally fight off all the physical pain. As a man, your son may end up in jail where he would need to know how to fight diplomatically to survive. As a man, your son will have a job or a business which would require him to fight in court, fight for his money, fight for his rights. As a man, he will be a husband and a father. He needs to know how to fight himself from impatient to patient, from being inconsiderate on issues to becoming considerate on issues. People have to fight for love and fight for justice and fight for peace even. Fighting doesn't just mean raise your fists and your tone. Many times, fighting means taking your corner and waiting it out. Many times, fighting means raising the white flag because you recognize you faltered. No one can teach your son to fight this way except for you. Being able to fight is a good thing. Being able to know when to fight is a better thing. And being able to walk away even though you can destroy your opponent physically, mentally, or financially, but you don't because you must be the bigger person in this situation. Your son won't listen to anyone on this advice except for you. And he will hold it honorably, always. And he will respect that this is the lesson my father taught me. There are so many circumstances in life where men get stuck. Sure, they can relearn and get answers and guidance at any and every step. But it's not the same as having a present and involved father. The ones that have active fathers excel much, much further. And these are facts all over the internet. Being a father is not a choice you have anymore. It is what it is. Being active and involved as a father is very much your choice. And I say this again, even if you are receiving resistance from your son or his mother, you must not have a care in the world about that, and think to the future and do the right thing. Do the right thing for your son. Do the right thing so that your generational curses stop at this generation. Do the right thing for you, my friend. I understand that the road to re-establishing relationships or even maintaining them aren't easy. But I promise this to you, my brothers. Once you and your son create an unbreakable bond, once you and your son are friends and advisors to each other for life, that's when you will realize that all the struggle to be a good father was worth it. You deserve to grow old happy and check out from this earth happy. So do this for yourself more than for anyone else. Okay? Be present in your son's life. Be participating in your son's life. Make your son your life. Be safe, be positive, and keep making the wise decisions every single day.